Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Kalen, and today we're continuing with Glory Hounds issue 2. Gonna go to the art gallery. I don't remember exactly how much longer is left in this issue, so I'm not sure. I might split it around when he changes into costume or something. I don't remember. We'll see. I think it's probably too long to do it in one. Let's just go with that. Let's get into it. Lou and I get off at the tram stop near the art gallery. It's a majestic building sandwiched in between rows of fancy townhouses that are all at least 150 years old. Some are a little slanted. Rumor has it a distant relative of the Batavian royal family used to live in one of them up until recently. My companion assured me, however, that it's just a ruse to draw more people to the area. No doubt to spend money at all the fancy brand stores. I'm sure they researched the matter at length to come to that conclusion, so I'm not going to question it. Even as we're walking, they're scrolling through Opgaduk's website, no doubt checking out what they have on display. I have to say, Al, I'm surprised you of all people would want to go to an art gallery. Your dinosaur speech last week really opened my eyes, so I'm trying to be more mature. Really now? No, I ran into the curator of the art gallery last week. Quite literally. She gave me tickets and said I should go check it out. In all honesty, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't at least a little curious about the Money Talks gown Fenna mentioned. Besides, if I'm gonna be old, I can at least pretend to be cultured like you. But isn't it closed right now? Website says they're doing some renovations. Oh, she gave me, special access tickets. Wow, look at you. Making friends in high places, huh? You, could say that. I better not tell them I met the CEO, too. They'd be all over the internet in minutes. Lucky bastard. The most expensive thing I ever got for free was a sample at the perfume counter. They wave their hand, closing the holographic screen in front of them as we near a pedestrian crossing. While we wait for the light to turn green to a heavily made up... While we wait for the light to turn green next to a heavily made up... Tapir? How do you say that? Tapir? Tapir lady? Lou finally turns to me. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but... How are you holding up, Al? You know, with the job situation. I was hoping to help you look for something new, but I haven't seen you at the Han and barely even texted. Got caught up with the kids myself, too. I guess I did kind of leave in a hurry after our little night out. Sorry, I've been recovering from that fish ain't my mother. It left a really big impression. I think that one review was putting it lightly, to be honest. I don't think I can ever unsee that scene where the lady gives birth to singing fish eggs. What did I tell you? Cult classic. True. Only a cult could appreciate that kind of imagery. Really though, I've been doing great. Already got something new, I think. Just got through my orientation earlier this week. That's fast. And what's the gig? I can feel myself sweating a little. Quick, Alex, make something up. I'm working as a cleaner. I clean things. My eyes meet Lou's for the briefest of moments just to see if they're buying it. Clean what? Houses? Streets? Crime scenes? Shit. I knew I should have prepared a more convincing story ahead of time. Get it together. You know they can smell fear. It's a private, residential thing. Look, the lights turn green. We should walk now. Don't want to keep the cars waiting. I hurriedly waddle down the crossing. Lou quirks a brow at me, but follows anyway. You're not ashamed, are you? Ah, and there it is, my golden ticket. I slow down my pace enough for Lou to catch up. I kind of took this new job out of desperation. It's not exactly the kind of career move you shout from the rooftops. Lou puts their paw on my shoulder. Being a cleaner is a perfectly normal profession. My cousin's friend's uncle's girlfriend's neighbor's former lover makes a fortune out of it. Or are you cleaning, like, sex stores or something? No sex stores, just houses. Even if you were, there's no shame in it. I'm glad you found something. Thanks, Lou. Someday I'll tell them the whole truth. For now, half of one will do. Not that they'd ever believe me. Hell, I have trouble believing it myself. So, this is Opgedukt. It's even bigger on the inside, with a vastly more modern decor than I'd pictured when I heard the words art gallery. I was expecting stuffy dark rooms with snobs scoffing at paintings. But this place is open, well lit, immaculately clean, and smells like mint and flowers. There's so much on display here I don't even know where to look. Judging by the expression on their face, I think Lou feels the same. Still, I can't let my guard down. Lots of stuff means a lot of potential targets for the syndicate. Look at all these works, Alex. Just one of those paintings costs more than we'll ever make in our entire lives. I don't know whether that's impressive or depressing, but you're probably right. Though with my new job, I might be able to pay one off in 5 lifetimes instead of 10. Ooh, I've seen an article about that one, and that one was in a video. And that one's just a blank canvas. It's not just a blank canvas, Alex. Art always has meaning behind it, intent. It's all about how you perceive it. Maybe the canvas represents a certain kind of emptiness the artist felt, a lack of passion. Oh no. I think Lou's already started breathing in the paint fumes. That's just a canvas we leave for the children to practice on. Fenna comes walking over to us, a little clipboard in hand, looking as refined and regal as ever. You'd never guess she was in a crisis of any sort. Lou's eyes flick between me and her, muzzle parted slightly. Hey, hello, Miss Fenna. It's a pleasure seeing you again, Mr. Dorai. And look, you've managed to remain on your feet this time. The Sphinx cat nudges me with their elbow. Are you gonna introduce me, or... Oh, Fenna, this is my friend Lou. They're a big fan. Lou, this is Fenna. The curator, right? Yes, indeed. Pleased to make your acquaintance. You must have your paws full. This place is huge. It's quite the responsibility, yes, but it's one I happily bear. The arts are as important to me as living and breathing. I guess the eating and sleeping aren't exactly priorities for her. It's a joy to be able to share that passion with the world. Lou mutters under their breath. I bet it makes a pretty penny, too. Lou. Now, the art you see here has all been graciously donated to us by lovely artists from all over the world. I take it you want to see the Money Talks count? It is considered the pride of our collection after all. I'm dying to take a closer look. That is technically what I'm here for. If that thing gets stolen, I'll probably be out of a job. Again. I'm more interested in the Van Halen link myself. I can imagine. We did have it on loan from the royal family after all. Could you tell me where I could find it? It's no longer in our collection as of this week, I'm afraid. You're kidding me. Why? Our backers deemed it not interesting enough for the general public anymore. According to them, guests these days are looking for excitement, to be dazzled. And supposedly there's little excitement to be found in a painting from the 1800s. Did they change this when they canned Smoke Room? I don't remember this. It feels like they're just writing it out. That's funny. And you're cool with that? Fenna looks away. Fenna looks away in the direction of the Money Talks gown. There's a kernel of truth to be found in their opinion, to be sure. It's important we keep our funds and interest up. A portion of our earnings goes to charity, though far less than I'd personally prefer. What kind of charities do you support? This month we're supporting the Foundation for Anglerfish with Dim Lights. Never heard of that one. Which is why it's a matter deserving of more attention. What are you gonna do? Buy them all flashlights? Lou, would you mind if I borrowed Alex for a little while? We won't be long. Oh, sure. I'll go check out the statues and sculptures in the meantime. They say that so confidently, but the look on their face only spells confusion. Don't go checking out that gown thing without me, you hear? I wouldn't dare. They definitely would. I wave at them as Fenna beckons me around the corner and into a hallway. We pass a janitor wearing a fishbowl helmet who gives us a bit of an odd look. It makes me uncomfortable. The art on display further down the hall is very bold, let's just say that. The canvases look less like someone painted on them and more like someone threw up on them. If I'd known messy stains like this went for millions, I'd sell them Max's Laundry. I feel like these paintings are different too. The Garden of Pleasure and Sin. Edward Old Moulin, 1767. Ah! That just about gave me a heart attack. Following his departure from Batavia in 1760, Old Moulin's environs were not the only thing that changed. The Garden of Pleasure and Sin was his bold first step into a new style and is widely regarded as his magnum opus today. The brushstrokes represent... How long is this gonna go on for? Oh, this is just our new state-of-the-art audio tour. There's sensors behind the paintings that get triggered as you walk past. It's quite a delight, really. In what universe would anyone find that delightful? The impeccable craftsmanship is further illustrated by his creative use of what some sources say was his own blood. It's very informative. You think so? I've had the pleasure of providing some of the audio myself. But that is not why I brought you here. She looks left, then right, then pushes her glasses up her snout. We've closed up for the general public today, but there's still been no sign of the Saltwater Syndicate. Maybe it was a prank after all. I find that a bit hard to believe. As long as I'm still getting paid, I'm happy. She takes the calling card from earlier out of her purse. After what Mimi said regarding its potential authenticity or lack thereof, I was rather curious myself. So I phoned a friend who just so happens to have access to the evidence archives at the local police station. Is that even legal? How did she get friends like that in the first place? The handwriting matches the one on the calling card sent to Mr. Ahab's previous victims perfectly. I shrug. It could still be fake. I forged my parents' signatures to get out of school stuff all the time when I was a kid. I was pretty good at it too. Of course, I also got in trouble for it more times than I can count. Mr. DeRoy, I'm a curator working for an art gallery. We deal with works that are worth thousands, if not millions, every day. If there's anything I'm good at, it's spotting a forgery. They will be coming. Not a single establishment that was sent a card like this was left unscathed. Is there anything else you could tell me about the syndicate? Only what was in the papers. That'll do. I don't really read papers. Who needs them on a never-ending gossip machine like Lou around? Supposedly, the Saltwater Syndicate engages in heists, thievery, and plain old privateering, the likes of which haven't been seen in Batavia in a long time. I didn't know they were so organized. I was expecting silly pirates, not the fish mafia. I mean, the Dawn Hound called them a little crew. That is partly true. Their numbers aren't exactly what one would call large, even though their leader most certainly is. However, they make up for it in efficiency and cunning, which is why I called your employer. I cannot risk a single item being stolen or damaged. I trust you understand. We might have state-of-the-art alarm systems, but so did all of the other targets. And I'm supposed to prevent this heist all by my lonesome? No pressure. I'm new at this, but I'll do what I can. If I see anything off, I'll call for backup. It's the only way I can handle this, really. You're starting to sound like a real hero, Mr. Duskhound. And with Mr. Dawnhound and Mimi for backup, you absolutely needn't fret. Why do you keep calling him Mimi? And how are you getting away with it in the first place? Oh, that? I had the pleasure of getting to know Mr. Drozdov many years ago at the Shippersburg Tea Academy. An academy for tea making? Learning how to brew the perfect cup takes time and effort, Mr. DeRoy. I wonder if this means Will went to some sort of coffee academy. I know at first glance Mimi doesn't seem like the kind of man to frequent such a place. Then is practically bouncing with delight. But he has quite the delicate side, as I'm sure you're aware. Can't say that I am. As far as I can tell, he's about as delicate as a steamroller. I think being the only man in the class caught him a bit off guard. Flustered as he was, he stuttered when he tried to introduce himself. We simply could not resist the urge to make a lovely nickname out of it. She giggles and smiles as she says it. Are we talking about the same Milo? You should ask him about it. He ended up being best in class in the end. I'll consider it if I ever get tired of my arms being attached to my body. For my own safety, I think I'll take your word for it. I suppose I'd best get to scouting out the place. I know you'll be working, but I hope you'll enjoy the art on display as well. I'll give it a look-see. Thanks. I'm the one who should be thanking you. I appreciate all you're doing, Mr. DeRoy. I have faith in you. She smiles. Even though my nerves refuse to let me, I try to look her in the eye and smile back. I got this. I don't. What would Raoul say in this situation? Have no fear, citizen. Duskhound is on the case. She claps her hand together in excitement. Splendid, absolutely marvelous. Though, may I suggest working on your poses a little? You seem a bit stiff. Probably because of the bruises I sustained wrestling a deadly butler for hours. Still, she seems convinced enough, waving a hand at me as she walks off. While some called him a witch, modern scholars believe his style was influenced by his peers, who used their own blood to... Right, I better go too. Alright, mission recon, start. I say that, but I don't really know what I'm looking for. If I was running a motley crew of art thieves with a pirate fetish, what would I tell them to steal, and how would I prepare? If Max were here, I'm sure he'd tell me how they did it in Phantom Thief Casino. But he's not, so I'll have to leave it up to the whims of fate. I suppose I'd want to know the lay of the land first. Let's start there. The gallery has two main public floors with actual works of art. There's a skylight above the atrium. Lots of hallways leading to different exhibits. Words. This would be the perfect place for a dramatic exit. I picture myself, loot secured, busting through the windows and vanishing into the night sky without a trace. But I doubt the Syndicate would be dumb enough to try something that conspicuous. Unless making my job easier is part of their code. The second floor is basically a loft with a clear view of everything else. Another janitor, a parrot with a brightly colored feathers, appears to be doing a sweep up there. With this many janitors around, it'd be hard to be stealthy. He's looking at me rather intently. I suppose it's unusual for there to be that many people in here after closing. I decide to check for back entrances or emergency exits. Along the way, I scan the various paintings, sculptures, and other art pieces on display. Some of it's even interactive. I have absolutely no idea how to tell priceless from worthless. But since the Syndicate declared their heist so brazenly, maybe they left some clues as to what they're aiming to steal, other than the money talks gown. Whoa, this one's huge. I've never seen a statue quite like this before. Big and wide and buff, and it smells of tropical fruits. I'm compelled to give it a poke. Har har har. I'm no statue, laddie, but flattered all the same. It talks? I look up at the huge whale. And sure enough, he's breathing, blinking, smirking. Almost twice my height. This man could crush me with a finger. I don't know whether that conclusion terrifies me or turns me on. Sorry, I'm sorry for poking you. 'Tis as well you did, boyo. I nearly stepped on you. Please do. You should see the look on your face. I'm sorry, I don't often get to meet whales. Let me stop myself before I say anything bad. Pardon me for saying this, lad, but don't you know we're closed early today? You aren't supposed to be here. Oh, we're special guests of Fenna's. I'm. Okay. Forgot where that line was going. Oh, we're special guests of Fenna's. Sir. Sir. I look up at him, but I can barely see past those pecs. Do those even qualify as pecs anymore? They're frickin' mountains. And here I thought Raoul and Milo were buff. Mr. Svenna never said anything about guests. She didn't tell me either. Who are you? I be the head janitor of this here gallery. You're doing a good job. I haven't seen a speck of dust since I walked in here. Right you are, and I intend to keep it that way, sonny. It is my job to clean up and haul out rubbish that don't belong here. So let me ask again, lad. What are you doing here? It sounds like a threat, but he has a whale of a smile plastered on his face. I hope he doesn't think I'm behind the planned heist. If he even knows anything about it. I should ask. Pumping folks for intel is what they do in detective shows, right? Just gotta find an easy in. Oh, I'm just an art lover, I swear. There's a lot of, neat stuff on display here. Has anyone ever tried to, I stop, realizing that only makes me sound weird and suspicious. Nick it? He laughs, voice so loud it seems to shake the very hall we're in. It'd be quite the hall, and no mistake. But no ordinary thief would think to rob a place like this. Security's tighter than the Queen's undergarments. And just as pretty. Not even the Saltwater Syndicate? The whale shudders slightly, but with his massive size I can practically feel the floor vibrate. Are ye daft, lad? The Saltwater Syndicate? That be no name to use lightly. Fana told you about the card that got here in the mail, then. So he does know. You sound like you know them. Know them? Aye, lad, know them I do. They're a nasty sort, and you'd be wise not to cross them. Folks like those don't mess around. You could get hurt, or worse. I thought you said no thief worth his salt would rob a place like this. They're no ordinary thieves, laddie. Take it from me. You'll want to be out of here as fast as your cute wee little legs can carry you. Cute, huh? He chuckles. That's a wee button. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got meself a little mess to clean up with me subordinates. I trust you'll find the exit on your own? Yes, sir. Yeah, I will. He takes a knee and I can finally look into his eyes. His big, blue, beautiful eyes. Grand, me boy, grand. He puts a big hand on my shoulder. If you're still out and about town at, say, 11 tonight, mayhaps we could get us a little something to drink at the local pub. You mean, like a date? God. Usually I'm the one asking people out. This guy's got me beat. I reach behind me to stop my wagging tail. A date. And a party to celebrate a job well done. Sure, I'd love to take you out. On a date, I mean. I know a good place. Aye, a grand idea, that. He grabs a piece of paper out of his pocket and hands it to me. A phone number is written down on it. Does he just carry this around all day, waiting for people to take them? I'm not complaining. See ya, laddie. Don't let the sharks bite you in the bum. He turns around the corner, giving me a good view of his backside. This gig is shaping out better than I thought it would. Though it is going to be a little difficult to focus now. I should probably head back and meet up with Lou. I find them sitting on a bench in the main hall. There you are. What took you so long? Sorry, she was just telling me where the gift shop was. You mean the really obvious one near the exit they all but corral you through? The one that's not even open right now? Honestly, maybe I should just start telling the truth at this point and make myself look like less a fool. Right, that one. Ah, darn. I was really hoping to buy some merch. Fiddlesticks and all that. You alright? Never been better. Really? Because you're really sweaty and you keep looking over your shoulder. Oh, if only you knew. So, how are the statues? Oh, you missed a bunch. There's stuff here dating back to, like, the Middle Ages. Very fancy. And there's all these golden chandeliers and necklaces. I'm pretty sure if you melted them all down, you could make a bigger statue than the one at City Hall. You must be in your element then. I'm in Nirvana. I might as well ask, right? Glad you're having fun. You haven't seen any or heard anything weird then? I'm looking at you right now. They grin. No, I mean weird. Who's asking? Fenna said there were some rowdy tourists walking around. This is Shippersburg, Alex. There's rowdy tourists everywhere. Especially rowdy. Oh. Well, there's one thing that I noticed. No tourists, but I've seen a couple of janitors around. They shake their head. Nah, it's probably nothing. Janitors? Just something I spotted when I was walking around. There's quite a few of them. So they noticed too. At first I was like, okay, at least they're cleaning the place. But then I went to the bathroom for a bit. When I got back, they were cleaning the same spot for the third time. Also, they point at the Money Talks gown at the center of the large room we're in. There's a horned chameleon standing next to it dressed in black. Even the color of his scales matches. There's a nasty looking scowl on his face. It took you this long to get to my grand entrance. Hey, don't butt in on my story. Can we please just fight him? I am inclined to agree. Not you too. I would rather not miss episode of Hasta que el tren nos separe tonight. Neither would I. Now get to the point already. As I was saying... Like I said before... There's a nasty looking scowl on his face. Is he staff? That guy's been standing there for like a solid 10 minutes. I know it's the centerpiece of the collection, but geez. Also, have you looked at that gown? I swear it looks different in the photos. Their whispering seems to catch the horned chameleon's attention, who somehow manages to wriggle his hands into his pockets and scamper off into a hallway, where I spot another janitor waiting. The two exchange words before the janitor looks in our direction. My blood goes cold as I recognize the jacket he's wearing. I can smell a hint of the spicy sauce from all the way over here, too. It's that Barracuda, Ishmael. If that card wasn't a fake, they're already here. He pulls a radio out of his jacket and talks into it, maintaining eye contact with me. He's just far away enough that I can't hear what he's saying. Then he starts walking my way. Shit. Shit. That means the big dude I saw earlier must be... Everything okay, Alex? We need to find somewhere to hide, and quick! What? Just listen to what I say, okay? You're serious, aren't you? Deadly, come on! I think that's good for today. I'll finish that up tomorrow, maybe. My throat's getting a little raw, so that's probably as good a place as I need to stop. As always, thanks for watching. Let me know if you're enjoying it. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.